Here we are, match number 1. We got Prati versus Sook. The Luma Oshiara. The proud staple of Sook's team. Let's go, let's go. Yo, what's up, Plus? Alright, so on Prati's side, we have the good old Tortonite, something to think about. We also have Piranian. We got Golder, we got Naga. Yeah, we got a lot of spicy stuff on Prati's side. We also got the Oshiara on the Sook side. Raze, we got some Tuvine up in here. Tuvine hasn't been seeing too much action, so yeah. Exciting to see, exciting to see. So the first ban is going to be Naga, and the first ban on Sook's side is going to be Volarin. So Kinu's going to be brought up first. Very, very good pick for a first pick. Allowing for the second pick to be the counter pick towards whatever is on Orange's side, which is really nice. And then also, if Sook decides to try to cover all of the boundaries on Prati's counter pick, the +1/+1 Kinu buff allows for it to be a lot easier to be able to tank some damage if it needs a setup on turn 1 as well. So really, really nice to have Kinu on turn 1. And Sook is trying to figure out what will be able to do the best against the the counter pick Tem that he's going to bring in. And he decides to go with a Raze Whiplump. I feel like there's a few answers they could go. Surneef. Could go with the big fat Golder because he's already slow. Volphy. I think there's a lot of good answers there, but he does decide to go with the Surneef. So another thing to think about here is Tortonite is weak to wind. And Sook has a lot of wind Tems, right? Barnsheet, Grandpa, Whiplump, Tuvine, Volarin. You can't ban all the winds to allow Tortonite to have play, so there might be a chance Tortonite might not see action in this matchup. So the Plague user Volphy is going to be banned on the second ban. Let's see how it runs. See how it runs. Club Wars hype hype. Yo, I am pretty excited. Alright. I'll switch the title to Yip vs Dynasty because Yip is on the left. Alright, fine. So the ban is going to be Grandpa. Grandpa. Certainly real bad into that lead. If Sook a big brain tenderness onto his whip up. Maybe. Maybe. I mean, remember, Raze can also do the same thing. It has Roar, King's Roar, but it's going to take a few turns to set up. Piranha is going to see action. So, like I'm saying, Tortonite might not see a lot of play because Barnsheet, Whiplump, and Tuvine do really well against it. But we'll definitely see. Yo, what's up to everybody that's coming out for the wars here. Yeah, thank you everybody for showing up. OMFG, Tickles, we got Robe Guy coming in, 912, we got Soliloquy, we got Matt Gia, Fug, Pachu. Yeah, I love all you guys. Diego, let's go. Yeah, so I'm gonna always be spectating on Yip's side so that you know that Yip is on the left and Dynasty is on the right. So if there's any questions on what team is going to be what, it's going to be left or right, Yip versus Dynasty. So we are bringing in the Tortonite with so much wind involved, and Volcrane coming in, along with the Oshiara as the counter pickup for Sook's side. So let's get into the matches. Yeah, we got Whiplump Raze coming in on Sook's side, and we have on Prati's side, Surneef and Kinu. I think the funniest thing about Prati is he has his Kinu named Volcrane. So whenever there's a switch in, it's really funny. Like, I love it, dude. Because all of a sudden you'll be using a wind attack or like some sort of water attack, and you see it says Volcrane is being switched in, and it's actually a Kinu. Alright, so with the speed being down on Kinu and Surneef, I'm gonna say Volcrane, I swear. And it's gonna suck because there's two Volcranes. He doesn't even know which one it is. That's so good. Oh, dude. Okay. He has two Volcranes on the same team. Hacks, dude. Exactly. So Surneef with the +1/+1 is also going to be able to deal with a lot of the Temps here. The only one it's not going to be able to do insane against is going to be Raze. But, yeah, there's going to be some answers for it. So, Whipple being switched out for Tuvine, and we got Kinu being switched out for Volcrane here. Really good switch in because he knows that he doesn't want to leave the Whiplump in against the Cerny. So Volcrane does get a free swap in here. Fire Flame coming in, doing an 18% damage. And yeah, so we got a pretty good startup for Prati in my opinion. Allowing Volcrane to come in to be able to deal with not only 2-Vine but also the Raise. We also have Cerny that is going to be getting stacked up. So if there's going to be another switch on Raise, there is a chance that Volcrane can switch back into Keenu and get buffs up. Because a lot of the times in this situation, you really want your Water Temp to come in. You need something to deal with the Volcrane. If Volcrane starts to get all the attacks up, getting Flaming Meteorite, getting Ninja if it has Ninja, spamming Embers or even Stone Ball for free, it's going to be rough. And against 2-Vine and Raise, Volcrane is going to have a field day. So there could be also a switch up with Keenu going into Cerny slot. Yeah, there's a lot of options for Prati side. Sook has to kind of do a weird switch coin flip, trying to make sure if he's going to keep in Volcrane. If he keeps in Volcrane, then he wants to have Whiplump in. If he's going to switch out into Keenu to get more buffs onto Cerny, he wants to put pressure onto Volcrane slot. But like I said, it's going to be a pretty big risk. But normally on orange side, when you don't have the counter pick, you have to figure out that risk. Cerny coming in with the Water Cutting Lily onto Raise. Think there might be a switch in. The Raise has Snare, so that is huge. Okay, so Snare onto Raise, or the Raise snaring the Cerny is not going to be fun. No more Sweatband. Low on health now. Stoneball coming in onto Raise with the Water Cutting Lily, making sure it covers both slots if it's a Whiplump or not, or stays in for Raise. Really, really good 2 attacks there to cover anything that can be swapped in. But also, with Cerny using Water Cutting Lily onto the Raise, it doesn't have Sweatband. And one thing that makes Cerny extremely strong is the Sweatband. So, very, very good snare. Could win the game, potentially, because now Cerny is not going to be able to deal with the Oshiara or the Whiplump, because it's weak, so it can't just spam Revitalize, spam, you know, Bush, and all of these other turns, right? So it's going to have to find a way to still do what it has to do without gaining the extra stamina off of Sweatband. So step 1 for Suki is definitely get the Sweatband out of here. And now with that having become an effect, now he's got to figure out how to deal with, in my opinion, the Volcrane. He does have the Waters, but it's hard to switch in Waters when they have Nature on the other slot, because it's going to be dealing a lot of damage towards the Water Tems that are going to be able to deal with Volcrane. So that is going to be Sook's next goal, is how to get the Volcrane out of here so he can still have Raise and Barnshee and all these other Tems be able to come in and not really care. Or 2-Vine, sorry. Piranha is actually pretty good in this. Tortnite is going to be able to deal with the Barnshee pretty well, and the 2-Vine. I know they're wind, but if they get some buffs up on it, I think it's going to be, Tortnite's going to be able to tank some of the damage and be able to hit the Crystal Spike pretty heavily. It's a pretty rough turn, I think. I think it's pretty even right now, and he does bring in the Oshiara. Bush is being activated with the Earth Synergy, getting the +2 special defense. So that is definitely a pretty big boost for Cerny there. It does overexert, but yeah. So Crystal Plume coming in out of Volcrane, thinking it was going to be a switch up into a Keenu, which it wasn't, which makes it pretty nice for Prati. But again, Cerny is overexerted, so Oshiara can use an attack this turn without having any problems. So I think the tempo advantage is in Sook's side. Prati's going to have to figure out what to do with this situation, since Cerny can't attack, but it does have a heal. It's most likely going to have to switch out, because if it gets doubled into with the 2-Vine and Oshiara, there is a chance it could die, but it does have +2 defense, so it could stay and just click rest. if he wants it to be able to take the damage. Most likely there's going to be an attack into Volcrane slot, and I think he's okay with Praniant, Tortnite, or Kinu taking it. The problem is if he goes Kinu, he wants a Crystal Plume, right? If he's going Tortnite, he wants the Feather Gatling. So he kind of has to choose which attack he wants to use on Tuvine here, on which one he wants to deal with. So the switch out is going to happen. Let's see which one it is. So it is Tortnite. So if he chose the Feather Gatling, definitely a better play. If he chose the Crystal Plume, it's going to do slightly less damage. Praniant coming in on the Cerny slot. So a double swap in with Tsunami coming through. So definitely good swaps for Prati here. Take it half damage on both from the Tsunami. And it is a Crystal Plume onto Tortnite. So it's not going to do 2 times damage, but it still does regular damage here. Bringing it down to 60% HP. Pretty tanky Tortnite. And now we have activation for some Crystal Spikes if he wants to do that. Now Tuvine has no stamina. With Tuvine having no stamina, he has to choose whether he wants to overexert and deal double damage to Tortnite using Feather Gatling, or he has to switch out, which gives Prati pretty good control over this turn. Oshiar does have a lot of stamina, sorry, not stamina, but speed. So because of that, Oshiar can use Ice Shuriken, which is the only 1-turn hold move if he has that, and be able to freeze one of the Tems for 2 turns. So Convine comes through with the Tortnite because of the Tuvine switch. Cage is pretty good there. The freeze coming onto Praniant, making it to where it is not able to attack for these 2 turns. So yeah, definitely a good turn for Sook. The Tuvine not using any attacks, but it didn't rest. So with 22% stamina, normally they run like maybe 61 stamina-ish, or 2? It runs 62 stamina, so whatever 22% of 62 is how much stamina it has, and that is not enough for a Feather Gatling, which is 17. So if he uses Feather Gatling to attack the Tortnite, it is still going to overexert. Something to think about. Pretty good tempo turn for Sook, I think, though. So now he pretty much just has to think, like, am I spiking with Tortnite? Am I Feather Gatling with Tuvine? I think those are the two decisions he really has to think about. I mean, I'm almost positive it's going to be a spike onto Tuvine. And Feather Gatling does come through onto Tortnite, overexerting for it, but also dealing a hefty amount of damage, a little over 30%. So even with double screen, and Blizzard does come through on a Tortnite. Oh, gives it down to 1 HP. Let's get those 1% HPs, dude. The 1 special defense making it all matter, man. The +1 defense, +1 special defense off of the confined trait, living with 1 HP. Putting the Doom on a Tuvine with the overexertion. Oh my goodness. So that is really, really strong. There's nothing that he's going to be able to do to the Tuvine. And because of the Doom being affected, the move gives you 8% of your health back. So Tortnite still has another turn, maybe. Still has another turn. Spike could be a thing. Praniant is now active as well. It can't be frozen. So yeah, definitely extremely good turn for Prati, only because the Tortnite lives with 1 HP. 1 HP, man. Unbelievable. So overexertion Tuvine. Yeah, he can switch out the Tortnite if he'd like to, or he can keep it in to just spike and let it die. Or Praniant could use Revitalize onto Cerny if that's what he wants to switch up into, which isn't a bad play because Oshiara is water and it won't be able to do much to Cerny. That's probably overall the better play, in my opinion. And there's really nothing he can do to kind of deal with that, except for bring in Raise, but if he brings in Raise, it drops the speed, which is going to be nice. But Praniant will still be alive and be able to deal with whatever's on the field. So a double swap would have to happen so that Praniant can't just go ham. So we see the Tornado being switched in, Aquatic Whirlwind coming in too. Into the Surneef, not even doing 10% HP, and with the Overexertion, Revitalize coming in, getting 10% to Praniant, 25% to the Surneef. Definitely a really, really good turn. I think overall it's the best play. There's nothing that can really deal with that or punish it. So, in my opinion, free turn for Prati for sure. Now with Oshiara in and Overexerted, now he even has another Temple play to gain more advantages. He can deal damage on the left side, even though it's doomed, or because he has to Feather Galling and then Tornado next turn most likely, because he has to use the stamina management for these upcoming 2 turns to make sure he doesn't overexert this turn. He doesn't have enough for Crystal Plume Gatling. So because he doesn't have enough for Crystal Plume, he has to Feather Gatling, and then he can Tornado or Crystal Plume next turn if he thinks he's fast enough or has enough health to be able to withstand the damage. So with that knowledge, he can either choose to bring in Kinu to make Surneef tankier, or be able to just deal more damage towards whatever slot he'd like. And he does Aquatic Whirlwind into the Oshiara, not doing too much damage. And then Water Cutting Lily into the Oshiara slot. Yes, it is. And Oshiara goes down, doing 61% HP, bringing down the Oshiara. Noxious Bomb coming through. Wait, I think this might be exact stamina. I think he had 20 stamina. So I forgot he had Noxious Bomb. He used it prior. So yeah, Noxious Bomb coming through. Exact stamina for 20%. Now he can use Tornado. Now he can use another Noxious Bomb, Crystal Plume, whatever you'd like, because he knows he's dead in 1 turn. So he does have Fire Tornado onto Raise. He did use 2 attacks. If he brings it in, he's going to be faster than Praniant. And Aquatic Whirlwind is down now. So he could be free to bring in the Raise. And that is what Sook decides to do. Demoralize proccing, -2 speed Surneef, -1 speed Praniant. And if it has any speed on the Raise, the Fire Tornado should be going first over Praniant and I believe Surneef. With -2, even with Water Cutting Lily, so. Focusing the Surneef is rough because he has Kinu and he has Praniant that can use Revitalize. And since he did focus the Surneef with the Noxious Bomb, he has 2 Revitalizes this turn that he can use. So regardless of what hits Surneef, it does have +3 special defense. And Fire Tornado shouldn't kill here. Well, okay, Raze used Fire Flame, which means it usually has special attack investment, so Fire Tornado could actually kill. But it doesn't decide to use that. It brings in Whiplump, hoping that the Surneef is going to switch out, and it does. So, pretty good turn, in my opinion, for Sook. Especially with Volcrane coming in. Volcrane comes in, Noxious Bomb goes out into the Pranians. No, into the Volcrane, so overexerting and dying to Doom here. Yo, Prati's using the Ren tech on his own Tem so that Whiplump can't use 2 times damage, or sorry, 4 times damage onto the Volcrane here. So just in case there was a switch with the Whiplump here from Raze, it makes it to where it doesn't matter on the damage for Volcrane because the water's going to do even damage. That was a pretty sick turn here. Honestly didn't even know Rend was on Praniant, so that was a sick move right there. So one thing to think about though is with Rend, that means Fire Tornado damage against something that has very, very low special defense. Fire Tornado is actually going to do a pretty decent amount of damage here. So yeah, I think Fire Tornado and like Tornado or even Tsunami should kill here. So sure, it was really nice for the Whiplump, but it made it to where Raze is actually stronger against the Volcrane. Yeah, I think he's thinking about that too. He's like, Raze does kill me, and he doesn't. And with -2 Piranha, Raise should be faster than Piranha. So Aquatic Whirlwind shouldn't go first. If it does, though, then Raise dies, and it should be a definite win for Prati. So we are thinking about the turns here. So the hidden Ren Tech on a Piranha showing, and Tornado is coming through, so more Doom possibilities. So Tornado comes through, 76% down to 40%. So that means Fire Tornado might not kill here. It does not kill. Wow. Extinction coming through, dropping onto the Raise and the Whiplump. I think he brought in Tornado because it was already super low HP, so he didn't really care for it. Volcrane isn't affected due to Talisman, and there we go. There we go. So using the Rend allowed him to live 2 attacks, mainly the Sharp Rain that could have been attacked with the Whiplump, or even the Tsunami. Wasting the Tornado as well, which is really nice, wasting a 3 prio. Tornado doesn't have any minus speed, so that means Spike could go before Whiplump just because he doesn't have Tornado active. Tsunami is faster than Tornado though. And it doesn't kill, but it does kill the Volcrane. So if he did decide to Spike, which he does, dealing a little bit of damage to Raise. Fire Flame coming through, should be getting the kill here. And yeah, double knockout. So with the double Doom, it is going to take 2 more turns, and then he has to deal with Barnshee. So as long as Cerneef and Kinu, they both have Revitalize open. So actually no, sorry, not Volcrane. Kinu has not used a turn yet. So Piranha and Cerneef have it. But he is going to bring in Piranha to get the Kinu buff. So yeah, Kinu does not have Revitalize open yet. So if he switches in Cerneef and revitalizes Cerneef, he will be able to get that extra HP and back Piranha up to 100% HP, which is most likely what he's going to do. He's going to stall with the Cerneef and get some more Kinu buffs and such, and then be able to deal with the Barnshee later. Tornado coming through, doing 40%. And then Fire Flame as well, bringing it down to 30%. Beta Burst coming through. It should kill Raise, maybe. It's going to be close. And it does kill the Raise. So now, with Kinu having minus special, oh, Aquatic Whirlwind. Oh no. So with Kinu having Revitalize open now, it is allowed to use that, but we also have to think, it does have -1 speed. So Barnshee and Whiplump are most likely going to be faster than this Kinu, probably every time. So Sook has the speed advantage, but Prati is pretty tanky. So Whiplump used Tornado. Because Whiplump used Tornado, Cerneef can be swapped in, and water attacks will not deal any damage. Which is exactly what he's going to do, just in case he decides to use any water attacks. Which it is going to be Sharp Rain. Coming down into the Cerneef, not doing almost any damage. Energy Manipulation coming through onto the Cerneef. Trapping it. So he does have the handcuffs onto Barnshee. Revitalize coming through. And I think this is just going to be a 3v Barnshee. So it's looking really, really good for Prati here. See how much damage the Tornado does onto Cerneef. 66, 54. So 12% for Tornado, and it's definitely game. Watercolor Lily doing a little bit of damage, but they're going to be labeled to live forever. Aquatic Whirlwind bringing it down to 46%. Water coming through again. Adding damage with the Piranha too. Something to think about. Cernif is getting the extra damage off of the Water Cutting Lily with the Water Tem, so pretty sick stuff. People wanting to add in Piranha, make sure to put that Cernif on your team with the Piranha. It's looking good. Also, it has Revitalize to be able to help with stall compositions. And game 1 going to Yip. Proddy taking it 1-0. So pretty interesting stuff on both teams. Definitely fun to watch. Game number 2. We got Tutpup on Yip's side. We got Higgery on Dynasty side. So Higgery just got picked up by Dynasty. Tutpup has been within Yep and within Kar's stream and chilling with him for a long time. So them being on a team is definitely not a coincidence. Kappa. Alright. So on Higgery's squad, we got Triple Fire Naga with Giles, Wolfie, Skunch, Kinu, and Raze. We have Tutpup with Acronox. So Acronox is something that a lot of players are just not running right now, and we're gonna see how Tutpup likes to use Acronox. So the first ban coming in onto Naga. I was trying to think of who the ban is going to be. Is it going to be Yukama? Yukama makes a lot of sense. I mean, he has Drakash, Mastodon, Raze. Yukama's just gonna kind of sweep away at all the fire times he has. And the first pickup being Raze. This is actually a really good pickup in my opinion. It drops the speed of any 2 times that he's going to be coming out. Nobody has determined, so 2 Tems are going to get the minus speed debuff. He's going to have to choose which ones they are. And he is going to choose the Raze for himself with the Wolfie. So now we get to see the counter pickup against the Raze and the Wolfie setup. I definitely agree with the picks for Higgery. He doesn't want, the only 2 times that he doesn't really care about speed too much for is Raze and Mastodon. Wolfie isn't too much either because it's already going to be able to use 3 Prowl Plague every single turn, so. Guys, don't spoil Mobile-ish. I have to think which time he wants the minus speed on. And if you mirror match up on blue side, it actually makes it so even that orange actually has the slight advantage. And he does decide to go with the Cernif, not caring too much about the -1 speed, which is okay. Higgery thinking about the ban. And the ban is going to be Kinu for Tutpup. So when you have Cernif, you normally don't want too much fire, but not just fire, but you normally don't want special attack against Cernif because it is easier for Cernif to get defense over special defense. But he is going to leave all of the fires up. And I think what he's going to try to do is have Wolfie have the speed, try not to get any speed debuffs off of Raze, and be able to deal with not only Raze, but also Mastodon and Drakash if he decides to bring in Drakash as well. There is the Wolfie pickup. A little curious on if he's going to use Acronox or not. Take my energy. So what we're gonna do, probably tomorrow, is I want to get all of the club banners onto the channel so that everyone can kind of spam who they want to win in chat. I think that would be really cool. Cause sure you could spam Yip because it's an emote, but you can't spam Dynasty, you can't spam, Ronin or Enigma or, any of the other teams that are in play right now. Giles and Drakashi being picked up, which I completely understand. Now it's like a deciding factor of like Mastian or Kinu. Normally Kinu is going to be the pickup. I think triple fire in this situation, it's not bad actually. We can spam Ron. Does pick up Acronox and Volarend. So if he gets the speed increase and he uses Toxic Plume, he can also use the Acronox to use, I forget what it's called. It's the 3 prio poison move that only works if the Tem is poisoned, and it does a lot of poison damage. I just forget what it's called. He doesn't have any synergy onto Volarend to bring down any attack, so only Raze is going to be able to use Roar and King's Roar to bring down attack. Kinu is going to be the pickup. Makes a lot of sense to me. And yeah, here we go. Game number 2 coming in. Higgery starting off with Wolfie and a Raze. And Tupup is starting off with Raze Cerny. So here we go. The Demoralize is going down. Everybody drops in speed. Let's see how turn 1 is going to go. So the move what I was thinking about for Acronox is Venom Spread. Thank you, chat. I appreciate that. And yeah, let's see. I think Acronox can do okay in this matchup. It only really has to deal with gonna have to pretty much deal with Gaialis, I'd say. Does well against everything else. Volarend is gonna do Volarend things. So the thing that's gonna be cool on Higgery's side is he's gonna be able to run around with using Volpy in order to allow specific Tems not to get poisoned by the Acronox due to Team Elusive if he uses Toxic Plume. Alright, so 2 attacks bringing Volpy into lethal range, by the way, because Watercutting Lily did do enough. And it has Callosity here, so it's getting the +1 defense. The Plague went through and trapping the Cerny. Watercutting Lily did do, I think it was just under 40, and it's not settling. So I think it's going to kill Volpy with exact damage here. I'm pretty sure it had 60.4% HP. So that means it did 39.6. So Watercutting Lily should kill. It's hard to know that if Higgery doesn't know the percentages of his HP. So hopefully he knows, because that's definitely something he's gonna need to know. Cerny can learn Untangle. Oh my gosh. True. Imagine. What would be the switch in for Volpy if he did switch? Would be Kinu, right? Yeah, so the Kinu is going to be swapped in, buffing up the Raze. Drakash being swapped in. Watercutting Lily, I'm assuming going into Kinu, but if he... Okay, so Watercutting Lily does do a pretty decent amount. Cerny does have the Sweatband, and no snare on the Kinu, so Sweatband is gonna still be on Cerny, which is always gonna be a problem. Alright, alright, alright. So, with Wolfie being in, Hellfire is not gonna be able to be used very efficiently because of the Wolfie using Team Elusive. But if he does switch in the Raise and use that, it should kill the Cerneef with Synergy if it's max special attack Drakash, so... And I think it is going to be used. Cerneef has lower stamina, or sorry, lower speed. So Hellfire's coming in. This has to kill though. And it does kill the Cerneef, so a pretty good play. Even though Team Elusive went off, one of the threats are down. Dust Vortex coming on through, hitting the Drakash down to 30%. So definitely, I would say a pretty good turn for Higgery. I think he needed to get that Cerneef kill. Even though he had double fire on his team, I mean, Cerneef's still a nuisance. So not a super high threat, but definitely something that will allow him to gain an advantage throughout the game. Acronox's Minecraft blocky self is now in play. Let's see what Acronox has to do here. He also has the Petrify attack, which is Stone. So, pretty sure it's a 1-hold, maybe even a 2. So he wouldn't be able to use it now, but something to think about when he's going against Drakash or Raise. He has Fire Tornado active. So that's something to think about as well with the Drakash. Minus 1 speed on Wolfie. And he does switch out the Drakash. So here we go with Gael switching in to be able to deal with the good ol'... Why am I yawning so much? To be able to deal with the Acronox, Kinu switching in. Here we go. Sting on to Kinu, getting 2. And the Sandstorm, so pretty good prediction. I think it was definitely strong to use Sting onto that slot for Kinu, just in case the Kinu switch in was coming in. And the Sandstorm being able to also deal with a switch in from either Raise, Drakash. The best way to deal with it would have been Wolfie Kinu, but he did not happen to go with that. So it is a Cobweb Acronox, but there is Grease on Kinu. So 1, was that clear? Yeah, we had everybody. We had everybody saying Grease. Yo, why not Cobweb? Grease, 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 Grease. Grease, Grease, Grease. So I think Tupup's in a pretty good spot here. Wolfie and Acronox can do pretty well against what's going on. I don't know why I'm yawning, guys. What is going on? I'm about to chug some caffeine. I'm not tired, even though I just ate food. But yeah, Giles can still use Hook Kick in order to deal with any of these two Tems, so it's kind of going to be a decision if he wants to attack the Wolfie or the Acronox and whatever one he thinks is going to stay in or not. Wolfie being switched out into Raise, dropping the speed. He might do a double switch just to be extra safe, though. We'll see. No, he does use Sting onto Wolfie, and it's going to be exact lethal. Oh, no. Hook Kick onto the Raise, too. It didn't go onto Acronox, so that's pretty rough. Snare from Raise going onto Giles, so that means no more War Drum for Giles either. So it has 12.6% HP, but it's going to round up when it hits. Yawns will continue until Venom Spread is used. Exactly. No. So what'll happen is it's not going to have enough HP. So it has 12.6%, which means 0.1% it should live. But realistically, 0.1% would mean he has 1,000 HP. And he's going to have 1 HP left. So it's gonna do just enough damage to where it rounds up the percentage. Yeah, lowest percentage is, well, it's 0.3 if you're golder, but yeah, 0.4 on any other Temp for 1 HP. I know it looks kind of deceiving. It's gonna say he has 0.1% HP left, and then he's gonna die. If he's, well, he has to stay in, so you'll see it here in a second. It's just like, it's the actual percentage of its HP, but it's gonna round up. How do you know that for Golder? What do you mean, dude? Everybody runs max HP Golder, bro. But not know electric is weak to earth. Oh no. I've attacked Thing at 12.6 with a poison tick on them before. Oh no. Well, I mean, at least you know now. It's still a learning experience, you know? Yo, what's up, Umar? What's up, Diego? Ray's being switched out, so he needed to drop the speed onto Guile so he could do some nice stuff. Nice stuff to so Venom Spread coming in, making sure that Volphy can't attack this turn. So not letting it die to the percentage tick. And was that a double gash? Double gash did over 30% HP. Holy shit. Alright. That has to be like no HP Acronox, or I just don't know the stats to Acronox. Maybe he has full HP and he's just like getting smacked by a double gash. Oh my gosh. That's actually good though, because if you think about it, he doesn't need the HP, but with double gash, does hook kick? No, hook kick doesn't even kill with one shot either, huh? Unless it has war drum? Unless it has war drum, but it got snared. So double gash would have actually done like 50, brought it down to like 52. That's actually really good in my opinion. So Kinu is brought in to get the +1/+1 onto Guileless. Guileless is kind of the answer to a lot of what's on Tupup's squad. But he does have Volirin, and we don't know if it is aerobic or anaerobic yet. So we're gonna probably find out this turn. So yeah, Feather Gatling comes through onto Kinu, getting the kill onto Kinu. Hook kick coming in, absolutely gonna kill Acronox there. But he is able to waste the hook kick onto Acronox, which means this is a free switch in for Volphy if he decides to bring in Volphy. He could also bring in Raze though, dropping the speed. And there is a dumb spectator bug that we did talk about in the podcast where if you bring in Raze now, it is going to drop the speed onto both Tems, not just one Tem. Alright, so dropping the speed onto Volphy and the Volirin. Feather Gatling did not increase the speed onto Volirin, so it is anaerobic Volirin. It was faster than a Kinu, so that's actually kind of interesting. That means no speed Kinu. And the speed tie did not flip, so maybe a little bit of speed onto his Volirin. Oh, I'm dumb. Yeah, you guys are right. My bad. Volirin is aerobic. It dropped the special defense, not the speed. I thought I saw -1 speed. My bad. My bad. I thought I saw -1 speed on the Volirin. Not -1 special defense. My bad. Get him, chat. I was a little confused by it too. I thought aerobic is probably better for this comp. Smork. So in this situation here, it's like Wolfie has -2 speed, so it's not going to be able to go faster than Giles, but because he doesn't have hook kick active, he only has double gash. He can still use the dust vortex, or if he really wants to, he can use sandstorm onto both Tems. It's going to do good against Raze, Drakash, and Giles, so Wolfie's going to do really well against this. Giles being switched out into Drakash, so if it is the Sandstorm, it's going to get both of these kills. Or, sorry, not both of these kills, but Drakash is going to die here. Hyperkinetic going into 72%. Raze did have the snare, so whatever he happened to have, it goes down. Fire Tornado onto Voloran, 102. 53%, so pretty tanky, I believe. Dust Vortex coming on through into the Raze, bringing it down to 14%. So no Sandstorm. Drakash might be able to use one attack since Hyperkinetic Strike is down. I guess we're just going to have to find out if Feather Gatling kills the Drakash at 30%. I mean, what he could do actually is he can bring in Raze and he can Sandstorm. Wolfie can't die to a double-in from Drakash and Raze. And he can Mud Shower, but I don't think he's gonna care. So there's actually a couple things that Top Up can do. I think Top Up's in a really good spot to win this game though. Wolfie's doing very well. Let's see how it works out. Let's see what he decides to do. Feather Gatling coming on through into the trap. Oh, into the Raze getting the kill. Oh, it does not get the kill! Raze lives with 2.7. Fire Tornado coming through. This 100% kills Voloran, by the way. 110%. And this has to be a Sandstorm, right? Embers onto Wolfie. This might not kill because of the Embers tick. Drakash lives with 2 HP with double screen. Oh no! I don't know if that wins him the game, but that is definitely a huge increase for him. That is a better chance for him to be able to win. I don't think he wins, but it gives him a chance, alright? It gives him a chance. He has Dust Vortex activated. There's no hook kick on Giles, remember. There's no hook kick, so it can only do double gash onto Wolfie. So that means he can Dust Vortex and he shouldn't die. Double gash, -1 speed Drakash. It has Fire Tornado, or it doesn't have Fire Tornado anymore. It only has Mud Shower, remember. So Mud Shower and double gash would have to kill Wolfie here. Plague does go first anyways. It does get the kill onto him. Fire Tornado coming through onto Giles. Yeah, it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. Crystal Bite coming on through into Raze, and yeah. Giles with +2 defenses still isn't going to do much. He's going to have the hook kick save for this turn, but I believe Plague and Embers should get the kill here. Especially since he is faster. Hook kick did get the kill. Whoa! Fire Flame coming through. But he can't kill the Raze, right? Yeah, he can't kill the Raze. Ripperonis and pepperonis. Raze coming out strong. Wait. Oh, yeah, Giles -2, yeah. It wasn't speed tie. Giles went to -2 speed, but it came in on a death switch in, so Raze didn't proc. Game number 3 coming on in. Layla versus Mark and LP. These two players, Yip versus Dynasty. So it's looking like Dynasty likes picking orange side over blue side. So Dynasty prefers orange. While if you see, Yip likes taking blue side. So blue side has counter pick while orange side has counter ban. So those are the big differences between both. So looking at both teams, we have the Illuma Yukama with the double fire matchup with Drakash and Raze. And then on Markin's side, we have Tukai and Whiplump. Those are probably the two to look out for when it comes to the comp. We have Whiplump and Tukai. We got Mastion without the Naga, with Tuvine, Volar, and Grandpa for the wins, along with the Whiplump Tukai. So deciding on what to ban, Kinu was pretty easy ban to consider on Markin's side. I think it's something that you're not going to be able to really deal with too well compared to the others. And then we have Skunch being banned. So banning out the Skunch because he has no mental Tems besides Kinu makes sense. So now he has to think about what he wants to start off with. You could start Raze or Kinu here, I think. I think both are really strong. So Raze is going to be the pickup for Layla. There is no Determined or Raze on Markin's side, so he has no way to counteract the -1 speed. So he's going to have to choose which two. Oh, he does have Determined on Tuvine, actually. My bad. So if he does pick up Tuvine, it's only going to be a -1 on 1 Tem instead of 2. But that also means that he can get counterpicked with the Gaialis. So it is going to be Voloran, Tuvine, and thinking what he wants to pick up. On blue side, you don't want the Volar matchup unless it has the -1 speed, which it will. So if you would want to use the Doppelganger, if he has Doppelganger or Volar, he definitely can. Or he can bring in the Gaialis in order to deal with the Tuvine in the early game as well. And that is what he decides to do. Now with the next ban coming on in on orange side, it's definitely between Kinu or maybe Volfi due to Tsunami Freeze comp. He's going to have to choose which one he would rather ban. Either a Tem that buffs all of his Tems up, or Volfi that can take away the double Tsunami cheese that Markin can use. But the problem is blue has counter ban, so if he bans Volfi, he can ban Tukai or Whiplump. If he bans Kinu, he doesn't have to ban a Whiplump or Tukai, he can just pick the Volfi. So now he's free to ban Grandpa or Gaialis instead of Whiplump or Tukai, if Layla decides to. Still thinking about the ban. I understand if they ban Grandpa, but I think Whiplump overall is a better ban. Only because of the solo freeze aspect. So the Whiplump is going to be banned. We're going to see the first pick out of blue side come on through. So Drakash being picked up. We got some trolls in chat saying Spreader works on bench Tems. Yeah, Giles. Yeah, okay. I was about to say, yeah, Giles and Tukai are definitely the two Tems that are probably going to be picked up automatically here. I don't think he can pick Mastion. He already has Drakash to be able to deal with it extremely well. He also has Yukama or Volfi if he wants to pick either of those. So I don't think Mastion's being picked here. I mean, I don't see it being picked here, but who knows? So Volfi and Volarend. And he does pick the Grandpa. So it makes a lot of sense that you can't pick the Mastodon there. It's going to be way too slow. It's going to be able to get dealt with by literally almost every Tem on his side of the field, on Layla's side. So game number 3. Raze and Giles against Tuvine and Volarend. So Tuvine does have Determined. It does not drop the speed. And we have Tuvine and Tukai coming in. There's way too many spreader memes coming out there. How does spreader work with Tsunami or other AoE? 1/4 damage and hits bench Tems. Don't try it at home though. It doesn't hit bench Tems, guys. Come on, it hits across multiple games active Tems. If you use spreader with a move that hits the whole field, it skips the bench and hits the enemy tamer. It hits every Tem that's active on the server at the same time. Spreader 2Kai personally showed up at my house, called me a bitch, and then beat me up. Fucking spreader memes, dude. That's so good. Oh man. So this is that, okay. let's get back into the game. So Tuvine's gonna be being switched out into 2Kai. Look at that, hear that roar? Oh my gosh, hear the roar. Giles being swapped in as well. Double gash coming on into the Giles. That did a lot of damage. That did a lot of damage. That means Markin's got to be speed attack. There is no way it is not full speed, full attack. That took way too much from Embers and double gash. Even though there's War Drum, that did way too much. Way too much damage. So Gauss is coming in and tanking all of that damage, and yeah, so he kind of did the wrong switch up. If you would have did it the other way, it would have been able to tank the damage better. But he happened to get unlucky with Layla attacking the Volarend instead of 2Kai, or the Volarend instead of Tuvine. Because he thought the double ×2 was going to be brought into Tuvine first, which wasn't, which is going to make it really awkward now. Volarend being brought in. Hook kick going into Volarend, bringing it down to 55 with the War Drum. And Tsunami being brought out. Tsunami bringing it down to 43%, 25% onto Giles. Crystal Bite going into 2Kai, bringing it down to 37%, which means I'm pretty sure Sharp Stabs should kill. Yes. I want to say Sharp Stab kills. Work for your dollar, Giles. Thank God it's Hydro 2Kai. Spreader Tsunami would have hit chat. You just see a splash of water go through your monitor. Fuck, dude. Oh my god. So yeah, Volarend should die to a hook kick here. Actually, no, it doesn't, because Crystal Bite does more damage. It did 45% with the Crystal Bite, so Hook Kick will let it live for like 2% HP. So pretty awkward for Markin here. I need to stop reading chat so much. I gotta focus on the game, guys. Damn, you guys. So yeah, Whip Lump is... Alright. So Whiplump, sorry, not Whiplump, Tukai. It has. What did it use? It used Tornado, right? Yeah. So, or no, it used Tsunami. So it does have Tornado up. Tornado could be active onto Valoran. Trying to get the kill onto Valoran as well with Sharp Stab. Unless, like, the only thing Valoran would be able to use would be Hyperkinetic Strike. So that would be a kill onto Valoran, but it still doesn't deal with Gaialis here. He can still use Hook Kick. Gaialis can use Hook Kick as well. So two guys get being switched out for Valoran. And Valoran is being switched out, thinking it was going to die. Ray's being swapped back in. Minus Valoran and Gaialis is actually really, really strong here. Sharp Stab's going through the Valoran. Gaialis War Drum to bring it down to 32%. So with -1 speed, that means Gaialis on Layla's side is going to be faster than Markin's side. And depending on how much speed Raze has, Raze is going to be able to outspeed Gaialis as well, if it has a ton of speed. So -2 speed on Valoran, sorry. Looking pretty rough for Valoran here. Fire Tornado's up. So is Roar. And Hook Kick should kill here on the Markin. If actually, I'm not sure. Hook Kick Embers kills Gaialis here. Which means Toxic Plume can't drop the attack if he decides to use Toxic Plume. If Markin Toxic Plumes with Gaialis staying in, that's such a devastating. Okay, so Grandpa does come in. Being swapped out for the Gaialis. Crystal Bite coming through. 46. Ember's bringing it down to 30%. Feather Gallon coming through, only bringing it down to 11%. Wait, and that is an anaerobic Valoran. So, I mean, Gaialis got the value here. Think about it. It did so much damage to all of the Tems onto Markin's side. He can still he can still Sharp Stab this turn if he'd like to. Making sure he kills the Grandpa, unless he Hyperkinetic Strikes. This Grandpa usually has max speed, unless it's a special attack Grandpa. But normally when you're running Tukai and Whiplump, you're normally running the control matchup with Turbo and Hypno. Ugh, dude, I'm yawning like crazy and I don't get why. This is a really rough start for Markin. Every time he switches, he just takes a ton of damage. Is this a Turbo? Hyperkinetic Strike going into onto Gaialis, I'm assuming. 11% down to 0. Ember's coming in to the Grandpa. 8.4. So without the War Drum, it's not getting the kill onto Grandpa. I'm not sure if he thought about the... Like, if Layla didn't think about the War Drum, then that definitely is pretty rough, because it should have probably either lived with 1 HP or died. Really, really close. Who to switch in for? Wolfie, yep, Wolfie's coming in. So Wolfie should be able to Plague before Grandpa uses anything but Turbo. And if that is the case, Tukai doesn't have any minus speed. So Sharp Rain is going to hit really hard on the Rays if he decides to stay in. If Plague is faster than Grandpa, that means it has to be a switch out, which it would probably best hit either Volarind or Gaialis. So Volarind being swapped in. Plague hitting the Volarind. Nice, nice, nice. Hypnosis coming through onto the Rays. Yes, it is. It is not energy drink, so we still don't know the item onto Rays. Grandpa does have Sweatband, so if he can keep the Grandpa alive, it's gonna look really, really good. So he needs some turbos off. He needs to also be able to live, you know? So yeah. So even with the Hypno there, I mean, if it uses turbo, it's just gonna pretty much die. But Volphy does get switched out. Wow. Into Drakash. If it turbos, that's... Oh! Sentinel, obviously. Wow. Why did I even think about that? So King's Roar coming on through. Getting the minus speed and attack from Volarind and Grandpa. Noxious Bomb coming in for the attack as well. See how much damage this is going to do. 10% onto the Drakash. And Anaerobic being procced finally. So -1 speed, -1 or -3 speed on Volarind. Also the attack as well. 3 prio is going to go before Grandpa. So if he uses something like Hellfire here, it's going to look really, really, really strong. He used King's Roar. He wanted to make sure... I'm trying to think. If you would have killed the Grandpa, Tukai could have came in for free, which would have made it bad because it's not -1 speed yet. Huh. Turbo coming out because it knows it has to be able to use a move before it dies. Hellfire coming through. 56 down to 37% with the double tick, so that's 30% less damage coming through from this attack here. Fire Tornado coming on through as well. 37 down to 13.3. Toxic Plume coming in and getting the 2 ticks of poison. Alright, so Volarind lives with 2%, or sorry, 2 HP, so it's gonna live with 0.8, or 0.6, whatever it may be, yeah, 0.6, 0.7, whatever it is. And Tukai does come in, so Sharp Rain is active, I believe, and it doesn't have any minus speed, and there's no 3 prios available for Drakash or Rays. So yeah, Volarind and Volphy are probably going to be good switch-ins. It makes it so Tsunami can't be used. It also makes it to where, yeah, gonna be really good. Blah, blah, blah. I gotta stop yawning. I'm about to walk around after this match. I need to, like, I don't know why I'm yawning so much. So yeah, they don't want Drakash to die. If Tsunami is used, then Volphy should definitely be brought in. If it's Sharp Rain, then they want Volarind to take the Sharp Rain. So they have to kind of find who is going to be the person that tanks it. This is actually a tricky turn for Layla. Because the obvious answer is just like, okay, Volfi for Jakash and Valoran for Raze. Like, that's like the obvious one, right? But it's not as easy as you think. Because now all of the free damage is going to come out. Oh, so he doesn't use any attacks. Wow, so he brings in 2-Vine. That actually helps Layla a lot, I think. Tsunami being brought in. This is, yeah. So he didn't use any Sharp Rains or any overall damage abilities. He could have done a lot more damage on a Valoran. Or even Volfi. I thought Markin would definitely read this, use Tornado, use Sharp Rain, use something else, and be able to get it back for later. So with Valoran here, the Toxic, it should be able to use some sort of Toxic attack. Toxic Plume or Noxious Bomb on a Tukai. The Valoran dies to a Tornado though. I'm almost positive it dies to a Tornado. So if Tornado's coming through, who do you want to tank it? Raze? Jakash? Like, Tornado should go faster than Plague. And he's gonna try to keep him alive. Let the Plague hit Valoran here. Valoran does die to the Plague. This is just stalling one turn though. Feather Gatling getting that +1 speed, so if he doesn't Crystal Plume here... Wait, Feather Gatling doesn't make this thing die? If it would have lived with that Feather Gatling, Valoran would have definitely been a problem. So Volfi can just spam Plague on the right side and it'll be all set. Valoran is faster than the other Tem, but there is a bug going around where Raze, when it comes in as the first Tem, it doesn't matter if it's the first Tem in on a double death like situation like this, the Tem is always going to lose speed no matter what it is, but it doesn't show it for the player. That is a bug that's going around. So after this, we can switch. If Raze comes in first, which it will because Valoran was faster than the Whiplum, it's not going to show the -1 speed debuff on whoever gets brought in, either Gaialis or the Tukai. And we'll show you this bug in a second. So Raze gets brought in. It says it uses Demoralize and Determined, right? So Marking Giles comes in, right? It doesn't show it gets -1. Speed -1. And if we look at this really quick, Gaialis is actually -2. So this bug is still going around. It's a new bug that's been happening, but Markin doesn't know this unless he knows the bug and he's paid attention to what's been going around in the game right now. So if he thinks that Sharp Stab is going to go first or Hook Kick or whatever is supposed to go first, then it could be a problem because he's not actually calculating the speed like he's supposed to. So Dust Vortex coming in, and it kills Giles. So he has a full speed Giles. He probably thought, okay, full speed Giles should 100% Hook Kick before a Volfi, even with like 120 speed, right? Well, not exactly, because it doesn't work as intended. It's not -1, it's -2. So 2-Vine comes in. The damage onto Volfi is 58%. So with Tornado though, Tornado's going to do a lot. Tukai is definitely a problem here. You just have to Plague and pray that Tornado from Tukai doesn't kill Volfi here. That's honestly the play. RNGesus. And it does not kill Wolfie, and the play comes through, getting the kill onto Tukai. So if he would have dealt a little bit of damage, sharp stab, whatever it may have been, right? It would have worked out. But the Tornado does get the kill onto Wolfie, but now Tuvan has no stamina. It can't deal with the Raise or the Drakash. So, rip. That is definitely going to be a game here. All because of that little bit of damage he wasn't able to do with Gaialis because of that speed bug. We don't know if it clicked Sharp Stab. We don't know if it clicked, you know, why can't I think? Hook Kick. We don't know that. But if it clicked Sharp Stab and it wasn't fast enough, I mean, it's all because of this one bug that's going around with Raise, making it stronger than it should be. And Layla does take game number 3. All right. We have game number 4 coming on in. We have Prati versus Vinny. We saw Prati's team before with Piranha, Naga, and the Tort Knight. And we also have Vinny here coming in with the Triple Fire. Another Triple Fire team. So let's see how it works out. The way it works is Raise actually Raise debuffs both Tems regardless if it's the first or last Tem out on a double death switch in. So it demoralizes the Tem that's not supposed to be demoralized, but the player doesn't know. It still says he's -1, or it still says he hasn't been debuffed. So on us, we didn't know he was -2 until we left the spectator, we brought back in the spectator, and instead of -1, it showed it was -2. He doesn't know he's -2 because it doesn't even show a visual for it. It doesn't show anything for him. So first ban being the Wolfie. And also we know that it was a full speed Gaialis with full attack because of how much damage Double Gash did. It did over like 30% damage. The Embers and Double Gash brought it down to 50%. So we know it doesn't have full HP, or almost any HP at that point. Alright, so Wolfie being banned, and Naga being banned on Prati's side. Oh, he's taking a look at that Golder. Look at that sexy Golder. Golder coming in. We're going to see what the counter pick is going to be after Vinny decides here. We heard of SNRA Platt. That's Matt's identical twin stepsister wife. She asks me all the time on ladder. Oh my god. It's actually a tricky double pick here for Vinny. Alright, so it is going to be mixed Cernif, and Volcrane is a definite pickup for Prati. It does well against both, and Golder does well against the Cernif pickup as well. So Mixes here only can really Crystal Spike the Golder slot, while Cernif doesn't do well against either of these two. It's going to have to be swapped in or swapped out on turn 1. So on the next ban, Prati can definitely have free reign on what he wants banned. Keanu or Raise is probably one of the two that he's most likely banning, and yeah, there it is. The Keanu gets banned, and now Prati has Cernif, it has Keanu, and it has Piranha. So in this spot, Tort Knight is probably not getting picked because we have Raise, Drakash, Mastion, and Gaialis going to be able to deal damage towards the Tort Knight here. But he could pick it instead of the Cernif. Yeah, it is going to be the Kinu Cernif. It's just going to be better in this situation, in my opinion. He's only going to be able to use double fire instead of triple fire as well. Piranha's able to deal with the triple fire really, really well, so... Here we go, game number 4, coming in. Mix Cernif on Vinny's side, and on Prady's side we have Golder Volcrane. So if we think about this, Volcrane is a huge problem. If he stone balls this mix slot, it's going to hit hard no matter what. But he has to make sure that Mix is going to die to the stone ball. What the fuck, 2 Volcranes? So, Embers onto Cernif, Toxic Ink onto Mix maybe? Or the other way around. And then he just stone balls the right slot every single turn. Bring it down to like 70% HP. I think it'll be really good. Energy Manipulation coming in onto the Volcrane. 2 Exhaustion ticks here, bringing it down to 83%. Water Cutting Lily. Out of the Volcrane. It brings it down a pretty good amount. Embers comes in 60%. Toxic Ink coming in onto the Cernif. Double tick, 73%. And Callosity. So now... here we go. We have Volcrane down to 56% HP, but Water Cutting Lily and Energy Manipulation only bring it down to 57%. So it's going to live with 14% if it happens again, which means Volcrane can still use Stone Ball, even with the exhaustion here. And Golder, if he wants to, he could either bring in the Kinu to be able to revitalize later, or he can just bamboozle the Volcrane. If he really wants to. You can Toxic Ink, Bamboozle, you can switch out into Kinu. I feel like Prady definitely has a very, very good advantage in this matchup, for sure. He has 3 Revitalizes on his team. Oh my gosh. What are the odds that Prady even runs Stone Ball? 20%. I don't know. It's pretty much a 50-50 between what, Ninja and Stone Ball now? Because of Flaming Meteorite? Why Stone Ball when you can wake up? Yeah, you could bamboozle yourself and wake yourself up. I like it. Alright, Side Surge coming through. Onto the Volcrane. 56 down to 31%. Oh, Frond Whip! Oh no, the Stone Ball's gone! Oh no, dude. This is not good. Oh no, the Side Surge play, man. Wait, that means both times we're faster than it? Using Stone Ball? Both 1 Pryos? I thought Volcrane would be faster than Mix there. Volcrane's back. Pog! Yo, Volcrane never left, dude. It's still there. Look, it's right there, dude. That is a fast Cernif and Mix, in my opinion. I know Volcrane's pretty fast by itself. Oh my gosh! How does he kill Golder? That's the thing, you don't. You don't kill Golder. You're not supposed to kill Golder, dude. can never kill Mix now. Not really. Outspent by 6. Oof. I mean, you can just kill the left slot, right? Yeah, also pollution, but also you have to use pollution after the 1 tick is gone. Pollution will kill Mix in 5 more turns, easy. Turn 3 can't he Drakash and Bush? He definitely can, yeah. Doesn't decide to though. Brings in Drakash and doesn't Bush. Kinu being brought out. Bringing in Cerneef. Assuming that the Crystal Spike's probably gonna hit Cerneef here. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Let it tank the damage. And then Toxic King coming through onto Drakash. So the Drakash being here allows for it to Hellfire now. It can bring in Mastion, Hellfire, and it does pretty well. I feel like that definitely helped Vinny taking out that Volcrane when he, due to the Stone Ball situation that happened. Yeah, Golder's just chilling, man. He's definitely chilling here, using some Toxic Inks. I don't really know how you kill Golder though, honestly. So Pollution should definitely come on through. But Mastion's gonna come in and Hellfire's gonna come out, right? So he wants to bring in Piranha to tank that up. I think that's a guarantee, right? Cerneef being switched out. Piranha being switched in. This should be a Mastion Hellfire. Here we go. Look at that Golder tank it, dude. Oh my gosh. Pollution coming in. 2 ticks of poison. Let's go. More Toxic Inks coming in. Look at this double water, or sorry, double fire against a single water, man. That is rough. So the Toxic Ink's gonna go into Drakash, so he wants to switch into Cerneef onto Mastion slot. Yo, C9 Frozen Wolf, thank you for the raid, man. I appreciate that. We're watching some Club Wars. We're on game number 4. We got Golder Piranha, 2 Tems you don't see very often. Playing against a double fire on the board at the moment. A really good board state for Prati. So, it's looking pretty good for Prati. Looking pretty good. He did have a bad turn though. He clicked Stone Ball and Volcrane. Cerneef had Frond Whip, and Mix had a lot of speed to be able to use Psy Surge and Frond Whip before Volcrane was able to get the Stone Ball off onto Mix. Yeah, so if he brings in Cerneef onto Mastion slot, because Toxic Ink is going into the Drakash slot, then Aquatic Whirlwind would go into Mastion. So Cerneef would definitely be able to eat all the damage here. See how it goes. Guile's coming in on the left slot. Mastion being switched out into the Cerneef, assuming that the Aquatic Whirlwind's coming in. And Golder being switched out. No Toxic Ink on a Gallus this turn. Brings in the second Volcrane of the game. Protector buff on a Piranha. Aquatic Whirlwind is going into Gallus. Cerneef. Alright, so 38%. He does have a Bush to be able to activate. So no Aquatic Whirlwind is up, which means he can switch out Gallus back into Drakash, since there's no water attack for Piranha to be able to use. And that should be a pretty good Bush turn in my opinion. What do you guys think? You guys think it's a good turn to switch into your cash and use a Bush? Grow that Bush. I think it's a pretty good turn. Crystal Bite coming in. Onto the Cerny slot. That's going to do a lot of damage. And Colossity being activated and Revitalize. So yeah, Revitalize is better. There is only Kinu. It makes a lot of sense. Revitalize going on to Cerny because everything has Revitalize on his team. So Revitalizing all day, getting all the tankiness up as well. With no minus attacks to be able to be activated on Vinny's side, there's nothing that can -1 attack. So Cerny not having Settling and not being able to get -1 attack is kind of just going to have fun tanking some damage, revitalizing every turn that it possibly can, because no Toxic Plume synergy or Raise Roars out in play, so pretty rough. I'm pretty sure... So, he can't really have his fires out into Pranian, right? So, that turn, he went into Kinu instead of attacking Pranian. Which made it pretty weird. Golder coming in. Now what do you attack, bro? Wait, if you have Golder and Cerny on the field, what do you hit? Oh my god. Oh no. What do you hit? You don't want to hit Golder, you don't want to hit Cerny. You hit Concede, Kappa. If anything gets hit, it just brings in Kinu or Pranian and revitalizes every other turn. Or honestly, don't revitalize on one turn. So it's like, what do? You spike the Cerny slot, Kappa, hoping Kinu comes in. I'm tilted and I'm only watching this. Oh no. So Pollution is still able to be used, right? Is it a 1 or a 2 hold? I don't remember. I've never used it. So if he has Pollution up, he literally just uses Pollution on Mix anytime he can. Yeah, that's actually true. So even if he uses Pollution, it's gonna tick down, right? It's gonna bring him down to like 5% HP. Well, Cerny can still revitalize. Oh my gosh. If I remember correctly, he runs like a full tank Pranian. No attack. Velocity being activated. He revitalized the Mix, by the way. So it's now at 42%, guys. Big oof. So Pollution doesn't do any damage. So he could have waited for... He could have waited for it to actually hit Mix. And then use it. Yeah, you guys gotta remember, Volcrane is alive, dude. Volcrane's right here. It's alive. Huh. Is this gonna go to turn 40? Oh no, this is going into Pranian, dude. How much is it gonna do? Whew! 29? Oh my god, he's so tanky, dude! I like how he spins around and revitalizes himself and just laughs in your face. Oh, it's gonna live with 1%, dude. Oh! This is rough. This is rough. This is rough. How does he heal? Can't kill anything. What item does Golder have? That's actually a question. So if he clicks Bush, he still dies because you just double into the Cernif slot, and that's not that's not hard to do. You literally just double in this turn. Definitely Umbrella. Definitely Tuckma Mask. Talisman is on Volcrane. We already know that. The Bush is being used this turn. Let's see if he doubles in. Aquatic Whirlwind. Psy Surge going on to Craniant, 34% down to 16. And Toxic Ink coming through. So that is a dead Cernif. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. So if there was any switch in, it would have been Gaealis, Drakash, or Mastion. He didn't care if it would have been either of them, right? Alright, so Guile's coming in. And we're going to have to put in some pressure onto that Pranian slot. But it sucks because, like, if you do, he brings in Cernif. And this is the first turn that Giles is out, right? Actually, no. It was in before, right? So, it actually should have its holds up. Yo, Slingshot Golder, bro. Slingshot Golder. It's hard to even commentate these, like, I don't know how Prady's team is going to work exactly. All it does is kind of like tank some damage, use Revitalize, use Cernif to win the game. At least that's what it looks like. Like Cernif and Golder. Clicking in Cage, making sure Pranian dies this turn, I think. And bringing it under 40%. So, Hook Kick coming in, Pranian dying. Going down. So one Revitalize is down. Pollution comes in. Ouch. Ouch. So Mix is dead this turn. This upcoming turn. It overexerted and it did a lot of damage. Damn. Alright, Kinu coming in, making Golder an even sexier tank. Look at that, +2/+2. Look how happy he is, dude. He's just so happy. He's like, thanks, Kinu, you're beautiful. Alright, so they still have Drakash and Mastion. And Cernif isn't really set up. This is still really good for Vinny. Because Drakash does special attack damage. And it can't really die. Yeah, Drakash comes in knowing the only way he can kill the Drakash is if he actually switches in Cernif, right here. And he Toxic Inks the Drakash slot. But he couldn't do it. Alright, alright. So this is a Mastion bringing absolutely. And he's gonna try to kill Cernif this turn. Hellfire. So you either have Kinu tank the Hellfire or you have Cerny tank the Hellfire. Which one do you need more? Most likely, Kinu's going to be brought in. Golder's going to be tanking the hit with +3/+3. And Toxic Ink should go onto Drakash. Cerny can get brought in later. And then Water Cutting Lily should be able to kill. Okay, whoa, Cerny stays in. 67%. Down to 21. Clicks Bush. Takes off the burn. Gets 2 ticks of heal. Toxic Ink coming on through into Drakash. So Hellfire was faster than that. And then Meteor Swarm comes in, only hitting the Golder. So Golder's tanking it, dude. He's like, I'm a big fat dude. I'm gonna tank all of it. Get in my belly. He's about to eat Drakash and Mastion. 110%. About to have some shark for breakfast. Yeah, this is looking real good. This is looking pretty decent for Prati. Water Cutting Lily should be able to kill. It's gonna be really close. Alright, the Ticks does kill here, but the Fire Tornado is definitely gonna kill Cerny. And I think that's okay. Flaming Meteorite, 56%. Okay. Alright, Golder. Alright, dude. Alright, so another bug's about to happen. Kinu's coming in as the final Tem. It's not going to show the +1/+1 defense buff here, but it's going to have it. Wait, what? They fixed it? Wait, I'm confused. Oh, it still has +3/+3. Okay, okay. So, if you switch out and you go back into the game, wait, what? Alright, so Crystal Bite coming through 20% with War Drum. Revitalize coming in onto the Golder. Ember's going in onto the Kinu. No, I know, but I thought there were some things going on with Kinu being the last one brought in. It was also doing like the not -1/-1 thing. Like, we saw it last week. So I thought the same thing was gonna happen. Dude, what? He has Punching Bag! Oh my god. This is Volcrane, not Kinu, bro. Get out of here. Wait. I don't, like, Golder doesn't win this, right? Wait, does he have Metabolize? I mean, I guess it don't matter now. Dang. Alright, Vinny taking it, dude. Game. Game number 5. Coming on in, coming on in. Yo, who's ready? So, I really liked that comp. I really like the triple fire a lot. So one thing that he did really well is he made sure to keep his fires alive and then killed the Piranha, which was something he needed to do, right? So, GG's for sure, making it a tie to 3-1. Get more games. We always want more games. And yeah, so let's see, Sir, I don't know how to say this. Sir Mesao? Macau? I don't know how to say it. But I'll just call him Sir. I'm sorry. Alright, so he does have the monkey with Mashuk and Gaealis. So 3 melee Tems. And the first ban is going to be Volarin. See what he decides to ban for top upside. So after this game, they know what every team is using. So they're gonna know exactly what teams they can bring in order to deal with whoever wins. If this is the last game for, or if this is the last game for Top Up, the other 3 players are gonna be able to know what to do against the others. So Ray's being banned. Wants to make sure he keeps the speed on all of his Tems. And Cerny being the first pickup. Wolfie mix. Alright, alright. I'm dying. I'm dying. Ah. Alright, so Cerny Kinu, the ultimate duo, the double nature with double revitalize, and Wolfie being banned along with Mashuk being banned. So Mashuk does really well against Cerny. So with Mashuk being banned, he decides to pick up the Yukama. Mashuk also does really well against Yukama, so having a free reign with Yukama is pretty nice. Goes Kinu to Vine, so he's gonna have to pick Monkey or Gaialis. He has no fighting Tem if he picks the Monkey. He has no synergy, right? So it might just be a Gaialis game. Pretty sure. Usually you don't like picking Monkey if you don't have synergy. Or if you don't start with it with Kinu Monkey. Yo yo yo! Alright, he does decide to pick the Volan over the Grandpa and then Giles, yeah. So Monkey, it's pretty hard to run Size Munch when you don't have the extra melee Tem on your team. So, Sir is coming out with the Mix and Wolfie, and Tut Pup bringing out Cerny Kinu. If I had to rate these matchups at the start, I'm definitely going to put it into Prady's favor. I feel like Mix and Wolfie don't do extremely well against these 2 starters. Wolfie can do something like Plague the Cerny, lock it up for 2 turns, and then have Mix be able to spike it for the upcoming 2 turns, but other than that, it's not looking great for Sir, because even if he goes for the Plague and Crystal Spikes, he still has double Revitalize that he can use on the 2nd turn here. He doesn't have to switch out the Kinu. He can, but he definitely doesn't have to. Another nice thing is Yukama does have the synergy with Acronox and Voloran for this game, so that's really strong for Tut Pup as well. Sir has strong Tems, just not very many good synergies overall. I guess Mix has the nature synergy with energy manipulation, but other than that, nothing too much going on. So Acronox is being switched in. Watercolor Lily coming out into... Alright, into the Mix, bringing it on to 59. So Plague is going to lock down Cerny here, handcuffing it down, and we're going to see the Crystal Spike coming through into the Cerny. So bringing it down to 60%, Cerny is going to be able to bush before the... Wait. There's a speed tie. Wolfie and Cerny speed tied. Or was it Cerny and Mix? Dust Vortex coming through onto the Cerny with the spike, bringing it down to 27. Revitalize coming through, getting the heal. Here it is. So the speed tie switched back into Tupup's favor. It can now it can use Bush, okay? It can use Bush now before Wolfie uses its attack. It's either a speed tie. I'm not sure if it's a speed tie with Mix. No, it's not a speed tie with Mix because Spike went first. So yeah, Cerny is going to be able to Bush, and Wolfie is not going to be able to hit it, and neither is Mix. It's going to have to double in to hit one attack. So it could be a 3-speed tie, but I don't think so. I don't think so. So Kinu is going to be able to use Revitalize again onto the Cerny if it wants to heal it back up, and Bush is going to be able to be used as well. So if he wants to, he can bring in Acronox to Bush. He has, yeah, exactly. So he's bringing in Acronox, getting the Bush, getting +2 special defense, and that's going to snowball the game like crazy. So Bush is activated here. Plague comes through onto the Acronox. Good to hit the Acronox here, and Spike going into Cerny. Bringing it down to 44%. Overexertion from Mix only to 41%. And I'm pretty sure Cerny's Water Cutting Lily brought it to 55? I don't remember the exact percentage, but I think it can kill now. I could be wrong though. I could have swore it did like 45%. So it's in very lethal range here. So Acronox is locked down by the Plague, and Kinu being brought in, buffing up the Wolfie, and pretty sure Wolfie, oh, Sting coming in, getting the 2 poison procs, Cobweb locking it down, Plague coming through, bringing it down to 10%. So it's down to 10% HP. I was wrong, it was 35%, sorry, not 45. Revitalize coming through, and Wolfie overexerted. So here comes the sick Venom spread that we've been waiting to see for a pretty long time. So Acronox is going to be able to use Venom spread onto Wolfie, and I think it's going to use quite a bit of damage, guys. Cerny is also going to be able to Water Cutting Lily and get the Wolfie kill absolutely here. Oh, he's going for a Sting onto Gaialis. Frond Whip. Oh. Bring it down to 32 with a Toxic Tick. Alright, so Wolfie is going to be able to die to another Water Cutting Lily here. I'm not sure if Tupup has enough stamina for it, because it is 30 stamina. I don't know how much stamina he runs on Cerny. If it is 61, 41% means he cannot use the Water Cutting Lily at 30 stamina. He would need about 47%. But if he is running more... Wait. I'm an idiot. It already has more, right? Let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that. I'm gonna look at it really quick because I feel super stupid. I think pretty sure it has more. Yeah, it's 58. Okay. No, I was right. Alright, so Kinu being swapped into to buff Gaialis here. Sting being activated. Getting the ×2. And Cobweb doesn't go off due to Grease. Crystal Bite comes through, half damage, 10%. So he thought it might have been the Kinu, I'm assuming. And not allowing Acronox to die. So Ripperonis. This is looking so good for Tupup, I think. Sir's trying to find ways to get some advantages, but I don't know how he kills the Cerny. He can literally like kill all the Tums right now on Tupup's side besides Cerny, and I don't know how he kills Cerny. Yeah, all he has to do is just whittle everything down and be able to use Frond Whip and Water Cutting Lily later. Sharp Stab coming in, killing the Acronox before it can use any abilities. Hypnosis on the Cerny. This is definitely something to help. He's going to try to stop the Cerny from snowballing and then be able to kill whatever is in the other slot. So definitely a way to deal with what's going on. I like it. It's definitely a good game plan. So we'll see. Bringing in Yukama. It's most likely going to be a water cannon turn. Maybe bringing in Voloran. Just to get that extra tick of poison onto Gaialis. He doesn't have to switch, but he can. If he keeps Kinu alive, he definitely has a chance to kill Cerny if he can get it into a 3v1 situation, maybe? He can Hypnosis, get some Revitalizes off, some buffs off, and such. And maybe make it Overexert due to Plague when he gains Speed Tie against him, since he has it right now. Yeah, he's trying to find ways, but we'll definitely see. Maybe if he gets Mix into play to be under 40%, we'll see. So Cerny being switched out, Voloran coming in, definitely for the synergy for Water Cannon on Yukama, definitely understandable here. Tuvine coming on in. The Water Cannon coming down onto Giles, 81 down to 59 with the Toxic Tick, bringing it under 50%, and the Hook Kick bringing it down to 57. So Crystal Bite is actually going to make Yukama live with like 4% HP. So it's kind of rough, even with War Drum, I believe. That double screen is definitely going to save the Yukama from a Hook Kick Crystal Bite kill from a Giles if it does decide to use that. So on this turn, you could go into Tuvine, but I don't think... I don't know if Tuvine exactly is the problem. I guess it is against Voloran. You could probably just Feather Gatling the Gaialis. If it overexerts Crystal Bite, that's completely fine. Don't let Gaialis die so you can gain a turn due to overexertion. And then Aquatic Whirlwind, or even Water Cannon the Tuvine and Aquatic Whirlwind next turn. I think Water Cannon this turn with Yukama is fine. Into Tuvine. But then if he Crystal Bites and Tornadoes... Wait, no, your Water Cannon still goes off first. You're faster than Giles. I don't really know what Sir should do. If he brings in Kinu, it's gonna get Feather Gatling, but it's gonna live. So Kinu wouldn't be terrible here. Or he could bring in Mix, but then if Water Cannon hits the Gaialis slot, Mix dies. But if it's just a Feather Gatling, then Mix goes into Puppet Master, which is what he needs. But that doesn't really cure the problem of killing the Yukama and the Voloran, because he has to kill Yukama, Voloran, and Kinu, and he has to turn it into a 3v1 Cerny situation with Mix being activated and Puppet Master. So that's like, I mean, that's a lot of things he has to do in order to win, but it's not completely impossible. It's just he has to really calculate exactly how he's going to be able to do this on each turn and take some risks. It's most likely going to have to be Mix Kinu Tuvine, or Mix Kinu Gaialis. He's going to need those three. So he does decide to bring in switch out Giles into Kinu, getting the buff onto Tuvine. It makes sense. But remember, he needs to keep the Kinu alive. He needs to be able to hit those Hypnosis onto the Cerneef at the end. Aquatic Whirlwind into the Kinu slot, 34%. If this is a Noxious Bomb, it's not. It's Hyperkinetic. Okay, so Kinu does live this because there is no speed buffs. Oh, it doesn't! Is that a special attack? Or am I just like... Or do I just not know? Oh my gosh. Yo, LOL man, bye. Thanks for the follow. Sack, Trine, Rose, thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. Man, I don't know. I feel like he really needed that Kinu. He needed the Hypnosis onto Cerneef. Hayard Hale? Thanks for the follow. Yeah, it's a Moogle. Kappa Kappa. I'm new to the game. Any tips? Oh my gosh, all the follows, dude! Mario piece! Thanks for the follow train. Cue random weeb noises. Has Sweatband too? Yeah, exactly. So Tuvine can definitely do something in here. When it comes to competitive play, it's all about just getting whatever 8 Tems you would like. Play matches and start to understand like how speed works, how priority works, and what moves are stronger than others, and just kind of like revamping your team from there. It's hard to really give tips overall when you don't have the understanding of competitive itself. So Voron being switched out into Cerny. Water Cannon coming through to 73%. Hydrologist. And a Tornado coming through onto Yukama, making sure Yukama goes down. Makes sense. Spike coming through onto Cerneef. 66%. Yeah, don't worry about any of the best Tems in the game. You could like use a tier list and use the 8 Tems from a tier list and start from there. But just kind of use whatever you have fun playing with. Make sure to look up the traits that are the best at least, so that you don't have to buy a whole new Tem. But sooner or later, if you're a competitive player, you're gonna buy every single Tem in the game. So don't worry too much about like the best Tems right now and using them. You can definitely just make a team out of whatever Tems you'd like. So we have a +3, +5 Cerneef, and it's looking pretty rough on how to kill this thing. So he can bring in Volorin this turn because Crystal Plume Gatling is coming in, and if he water cutting Lilies, no, actually he shouldn't do that because of Toxic Plume with Volphy. Volphy can definitely come in. Water cutting Lily, if I remember, did 45% of Mix's HP. So I'm pretty sure Mix dies to a water cutting Lily. And if he really wants to, he can Frond Whip to make sure. Hypnosis coming in onto the Tuvine because he knows it's Sweatband. Crystal Spike onto the Kinu slot. Ooh, that's an HP speed Kinu. Actually, I don't even know if it's HP. Frond Whip does come through, making sure the kill on the Mix does happen. And that Mix is down. So Kinu is down to 10%. Tuvine is asleep for one more turn. He has to decide between Volphy and Giles on a 2v1 on this upcoming turn because the Tuvine is asleep. So it is going to be Giles. I'm pretty sure it has Sharp Stab up. But yeah, Kinu has to be like HP speed, or maybe not even HP speed. It could be like speed something else. So it took a lot of damage from that spike. And on this turn, it's most likely going to be some Revitalizes going off. He could just kill the guy else with water cutting. Actually, it's +1/+1. I don't think he needs the Kinu anymore. He can go Volar and Cerneef here. Just keep Kinu in. Use Revitalize if it's faster than Gaialis. I'm pretty sure it has Sharp Stab up though. So how would you play this out if you know Sharp Stab is up? Water Cutting Lily going into the Gaialis, I'm assuming. Hell yeah. And 22%. It was 47 to 23, so that means another Water Cutting is definitely going to kill. Crystal Bite coming through onto Kinu, and it does bring it down, so that's going to be the kill. A little overkill, but it makes sense. Volarin coming in, and now it's going to be Volarin versus Cerneef. Tuvine does have Sweatband with +1/+1, but I don't know how it's going to get through the +3 defense of Cerneef. And through the bushes and Revitalizes, that's going to keep healing over and over again. It still has Sweatband, there's no snare in play, so... Alright, Toxic Plume coming in, making sure to get the +1, or the Toxic Tick onto Tuvine. Sharp Stab coming in. Water Cutting Lily, probably overexerting a little bit to make sure Gaialis is dead. Yeah, it does overexert just a little bit. Crystal Plume Gatling onto the Volarin, and that did a lot of damage actually. But now with Cerneef going down, or with Cerneef being overexerted, and we had a Volarin that just used Toxic Plume, it can definitely Hyperkinetic and kill the Volphy. And then Tuvine can kill the Volarin, but then it turns into a 1v1 Cerneef versus Tuvine, and we kind of already know who's going to win that when Cerneef has +3 defense. Yeah, Volphy going down to Hyperkinetic. And Feather Gatling come. Tornado! Whoa! That's a little stamina overkill. I guess if he has Humiliating Slap, there would have been a slight chance, but he doesn't have enough defensive buffs. He does have I mean, he has Noxious Bomb. Does 15%, but yeah, no way. And Callosity is going to keep giving him to +5, so Humiliating Slap wouldn't even help. Ground Whip doing 33. Sweatbang is going to keep procking. And we know how that goes. Tut Pup taking game number 5. Alright, so it is going to be Tut Pup versus Vinny. Game number 6. I'm sorry, chat. You guys didn't get the bald man yet. Let's see if Vinny can try to sweep up all of Yip Squad. And we can see the other players that are involved. So we know it's Prady. We know it's Tut Pup, right? We know it's Layla. We don't know the other 2 members, though. So, who knows? Maybe Vinny sweeps up and starts getting in, letting us see the other members of the team. So, first band coming in is going to be Raze. Yeah, Tut Pup definitely has a squad that can deal with Vinny pretty well. It has Yukama, it has Acronox, it has Volphy, has Raze. It does pretty well against the squad, I think. Vinny, please bring the bald man to us. The ban is going to be raised on top upside as well. So having Yukama allows for Mastion and Drakash to stay on the bench. This means Cerneef Kinu is going to be a very good startup, or Volphy Cerneef. I think he definitely wants to pick up Kinu here. I think picking up Kinu, making sure it's not banned. But if he brings Cerneef Kinu, what's going to happen here is Acronox can get picked up, and Water Cutting or Water Cannon can go before the Acronox. We do know it's a really fast Acronox to make sure that Water Cannon can go before Acronox. Oh wait, that doesn't work. If Acronox is really fast, then Water Cannon doesn't go first. Kappa. Alright, so Volphy and Giles. He's hovering the Acronox. Giles is going to be able to deal with Volphy and Acronox. And then Volphy deals with the Yukama start. And it does well against the Acronox as well. Alright, so it is going to be the Cernieve here. Let's see what bands come out on Top Pup and Vinny's side. So Top Pup gets his Volphy band. Is it going to be the Keenu? Keenu Cernieve is just so good, dude. Oh my gosh. And he still has Acronox to get the special defense if he needs it. And he is going to ban the Drakash, so leaving in Keenus on both sides. Keenu's going to get picked up onto the Top Pup. And Vinny is going to take Mastion. With Cernieve. Whenever you pick Cernieve, it's just so hard not to pick Keenu here. So we got Voloran and Acronox. Thinking about the mix though. It's so hard not to pick Keenu. And he does pick the Keenu. So here we go. We going into game number 6, baby. Vinny coming in with the Volphy Giles. Top Pup coming in with Yukama and Cernieve. Let the best Cernieve win. Alright. So, on turn number 1. Why am I yawning again? I don't know why I'm yawning, guys. What's going on? Water Killing Lily and Water Cannon would be alright, but the Keenu is going to be swapped in. Makes a lot of sense. Oh, got Alice being switched out into the Cernieve. So, is it going to be a double switch? Nope. Water Cannon coming in into the Volphy slot. Oh, the Volphy slot. That did a lot of damage. Play coming through onto the Keenu. Grease is there, and Handcuff doesn't proc because of Grease. So, 81% Keenu, 57% Volphy. One Cernieve equals 1 yawn from all the casters. I like it. So he could double into the Volphy slot if he wanted to. But I think just switching in Yukama would be pretty sick. Alright, let's see how the turns go out. Voloran being swapped in for the Keenu. Volphy being swapped out. Mastion is going to try to be the answer against this Cernieve. But Cernieve swaps out as well. So, Voloran and Acronox. Everything swaps. So it's a whole new lineup. Kinu is buffing the Mastion. Alright, so Cernif is off the field. And we have Volern, Acronox against Kinu Mastion. And this is actually looking really, really good for top up. Fire doesn't do the best here at all. So, pretty good. Vinny slot, he can definitely... He can Hypnosis if he'd want to on Kinu. On the Acronox slot. Wait, no, it's 3 Prio on Sting, so... Gonna be switching to Gaialis. But I think he wants to punish the Mastion, not the Kinu. I think. No, he can punish the Kinu slot because it's always gonna do a lot of damage, right? It's either that, or he can just mess with the Mastion and start dealing a lot of damage to it. Because if Mastion goes down, Cernif can never die. Period. He doesn't care about the Kinu, because he feels like his Cernif is going to win. Cage coming in. Whoa! Alright, so Cage coming in. Gaialis being brought in the Kinu slot. Yeah, Sting poisoning the Mastion. Feather Galling coming on into the Mastion as well. Bringing it down to 77. So, I'm almost positive Hyperkinetic and Venom Spread should kill Mastion here. What do you guys think? What do you think? I'm pretty sure it kills here. I think Gaialis is going to hook kick Acronox and probably kill it. Or it lives with 1 HP. Yeah, Hyperkinetic. 65. Yeah, down to 23. It didn't even have to use it. It could have used Sting. Yeah, Venom Spread coming in, making sure it dies. Bringing it down to 0%. Hook kick coming through. Yeah, it lives with 10% HP. Even with War Drum, he made sure. And Acronox is still alive. Alright, so Kinu being brought in. Getting the buff onto Gaialis, and now he has to think about what he wants to do to win the game. So Acronox is going to die to a Sharp Stab, right? If he Sharp Stabs, Kama can come in and be able to be faster than Gaialis with the Water Cannon possibility as well. Yeah, you can bring in Yukama, you can bring he can bring Kinu if he really wants to. Or he can just let Acronox die here after using Sting. Yeah, Cernif brings in here Noxious Bomb. Onto the Kinu slot, going to 55%. Crystal Bite. Hitting the Cernif down to 75, but also proccing the Colossity. Stonewall onto his own Gaialis. Now we have a +3, +2 Gaialis with 100% HP. It's looking really strong. Waiting for Ta. Monka, He has got Alice. How does he win this though? Trying to think. He has full attack, so Cerny pretty much can't die, especially with Mastion dead. I guess. Bringing in Kinu, getting the buff again. Cerny comes in. On the switch from Kinu. Sharp stab. Oh, sharp stab kills the Kinu! Oh shit. So Cerny is chilling here. See, the thing is the obvious play is Kinu comes in for Giles, and Cerny uses Shy Shield. He doesn't want Kinu to die. Because if he brings in Kinu here, and he Shy Shields, or revitalizes this turn, right? He revitalizes himself, he brings in Kinu, but that would only mean that he was predicting Cerny to take damage, which I don't think he's going to take damage this turn. Gonna go into Giles slot for sure. Kinu dies. And he definitely does not want that. You could rest and revitalize Giles. If you rest, revitalize Giles, that'd be weird. But that might be the play. Feather Gatling, 71, does 10%. Revitalize on a Cerny, bring it back to 100. Revitalize on a Giles, nice, and a rest. Yeah, so I think that was a pretty good play. It's definitely not bad. He needs the Giles to be able to kill the left slot, so Volan, right? I think he keeps in the Giles and starts attacking the Volan slot. Most likely he's gonna Crystal Bite here, and if he Crystal Bites here, Acronox should definitely be the one to come in, and then Cerny can now use Bush if he wants to. He doesn't need to Bush because Wolfie and Kinu are the special attackers, and Giles is really the only threat, right? So Crystal Bite comes through, doing 55%. Frond Whip, 96, down to 77. Frond Whip onto Volan, bringing it down to 20. So War Drum coming into play, Cerny getting the Sweatband. And yeah, both Cernifs are Colossity. So we're not going to see any settling things going on. We're going to see most likely a turn 30 game here. And I think Vinny could win it. Because he has Giles. He has other tanks, and he still has Kinu alive. So Vinny could definitely win this. This is definitely looking Vinny favored. Wolfie coming in for the Guile slot. Sternif being switched out into Yukama. Hyperkinetic Strike into the Wolfie. Oh, into the nice, into the Sternif. That's where it needs to go. That is 110% where it needs to go. Water Cutting Lily has to kill Volarend if that's where it's going to go as well. It does barely kill. It barely kills. So 32% Sternif. That is really, really, really good. So Tupup's trying to find a way to get the Sternif down. If he can get the Sternif down, his Sternif wins. So in this spot, Revitalize gives him 35%, but Sting goes before the Plague because I'm pretty sure Acronox has a lot of speed on it. So if he can, and Yukama's also faster, so if he Water Cannons and Stings, or even Aquatic Whirlwinds and Stings, I think the Sternif dies. What? He threw! Oh my gosh, dude. Venom Spread is 3 prio instead of 2 prio, and he has a fast Acronox. So his Acronox is faster than his Yukama's Water Cannon. So he tried to Venom Spread the Wolfie and Water Cannon with the Wolfie, but Water Cannon went second. So it couldn't Venom Spread the Toxic there. He could have Sting. He could have used Sting. That's a rip. That's rough. Alright, Sting is 3 prio, right? Am I wrong, guys? So if he uses Sting, it's gonna go before Revitalize. And Bush because he's faster, right? Sting is 3 prio, right? We have some people saying 2 and some people saying 3. So Water Cannon comes in and kills the Wolfie. I mean, he still has a chance, just Sternif's still alive. And since he has Guialis, yeah, so Colossi is going to start gaining its defense. It's going to Revitalize, bringing up its HP, getting some ticks also with the Bush synergy. So it's back up to 62, and he still has the Guialis he has to deal with. So he brings in Kinu, gets the buff up on Sternif, make sure it has more special defense to be able to deal with the Yukama damage as well. Now it's +2/+3, and Kinu can also use Revitalize if it needs to. If it Water Cuttings and Aquatic Whirlwinds, there's a chance it could kill. I don't know if it was this Kinu. There's so many Kinus every game. I don't remember if it's this Kinu that had really low HP that died like super quick. Yeah, it's most likely going to be Sternif Guialis versus Sternif by itself. Water cannon come through. 55 down to 41. So no, this is definitely going to live, the water cannon here. And it's going to be able to revitalize the Cerny and heal itself a little bit. And then it's most likely going back on the bench so that it can get another buff off whenever it needs to. And maybe even a hypnosis when Yukama dies. It's going to be a 3v1 Cerny most likely. So yeah, it should be a switch into Giles here. Water cutting into the Yukama, and then it's going to be another Yukama here. Alright, no, he's just letting it die. It makes sense. It's fine if he does this. Yukama did his job. Ground whip onto the Yukama. Oh my god, bro. What the fuck? Alright, that is a dead Yukama. GG, Vinny is definitely taking that game. Then roll, guys. Yo, we got game number 7 coming on in. Yo, Vinny is coming in right now, dude. He's gotten 2 wins, and he's doing work. Alright? So we only know the members of Tutpup, Prati, and Layla, okay? He knocked out Tutpup, he knocked out Prati, and now he has to beat Layla in order to reveal the other 2 members of Yip this week. So, we have a triple fire lineup on Vinny's side, and on Layla's side, we have the Yukama, Drakash, and the Wolfie. Those are the things that are going to be able to deal with the fire Tems. So, let's see how he decides to run this comp up. He also has Skunch and Giles to be able to deal with Drakash, so Skunch does really well against the fire Tems as well. Alright, Voliran is going to be the first pickup on Layla's side. We haven't seen that in a really long time. Only because usually the other team also has Voliran, and orange side wins the speed tie Voliran matchup. So, but because Vinny does not have Voliran on the squad, it is fine to run Voliran first. Alright, so it's going to be Kinu. Alright, Kinu Wolfie is the play, so it makes sure it deals with the Yukama, deals okay against the, well, pretty well against the Drakash. The only difference is the Giles it doesn't do very well against, and the Kinu. So he does happen to pick up the Giles. We have some Toxic Plume pressure for the synergy, bringing down the attacks of either Mastion or Giles, or even Cernif, to make it a little bit of an easier problem to deal with. What if Adkar is Karth in a wig? Alright, so Wolfie is going to be the next ban, and Cernif is going to be banned on Vinny's slot. So no Cernif this game. It's going to be just the Wolfie. Yukama being picked up because he knows that one fire is going to have to be used, and it still does well against Giles and Nyx. So pretty good startup. Cash Kinu coming in, making sure that no sleep shenanigans comes in with the Sentinel, and being able to use Hellfire, Sandstorm against Giles and the mix. Along with the Mastion and the Drakash. He decides to pick the Mastion over the Drakash, so let's see it up. Vinny starting off with Kinu Volfi, and Layla starting off with the Voloran Gyalis. So one thing that I personally think is going to need to happen is -1 attack out of the Gyalis or Mastion, and it's going to pretty much make the game a lot easier for him. Volfi is a little bit of a problem. He's just going to have to keep his Gyalis alive against the Volfi. The double gash is still going to do quite a bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if Vinny swaps, like double swaps here. Well, maybe not double swaps. Yeah, you can. I wouldn't be surprised. He doesn't want to get double gashed onto the Volfi. Alright, no he doesn't. He goes into Plague against the Gyalis. And the Beta Burst into Gyalis as well, so... going with the approach of dealing damage. So, we see that with 52% HP, Plague and Beta Burst is not going to kill the Gyalis before it's able to hook kick. So Feather Gatling comes through, but it is slower than Kinu. So maybe not a full speed Voloran here. But with this added speed, Toxic Plume is going to be available. And Double Gash is going to most likely be able to kill, or Hyperkinetic Strike onto Volfi if he knows how much damage he's going to do. Huh. So I don't know if he can kill with he doesn't have max speed, right? Because Kinu went faster than Voloran. So unless he has special attack, which he doesn't because of Feather Gatling, Hyperkinetic shouldn't kill Volfi here. I don't think it will. He would have to Sharp Stab. Alright, so Volfi is being switched out because he knows that he won't be able to kill the Gyalis. Mix being brought in. Toxic Plume coming in with the Toxic Tick. Is this a Crystal Bite? That would be dirty as fuck. Alright, he does do the Hypnosis onto the Gyalis. It was either a Hook Kick or a Crystal Bite, and I have a feeling it was going to be a Crystal Bite. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like, I would Hypno and Dust Vortex. Yeah, that probably would have... Yeah, that probably was the best play. He did happen to Toxic Plume, just in case there was some switch-ups coming in. But, yeah, I think that would have been the play to actually win the game. Getting the Dust Vortex on the Gyalis, making it to where Volfi can now kill the rest of the squad. Making sure it kills Yukama pretty well. It would have been really well, or pretty good, for sure. So this is kind of an awkward turn. Because he can't Crystal Bite, you can only Sharp Stab, right? So if he Feather Gatlings with Voloran and Sharp Stabs, does it kill Mix? That is the question. Taking a lot of time on this turn. Kinu is being swapped out though. Bastion coming in. Giles being swapped out. Drakash coming in. Noxious Bomb onto the Bastion slot. So the slot is this is looking pretty good. This is looking pretty good for Layla. Definitely a favorable situation for him. You can switch in Kinu, you can Sandstorm, you could Mud Shower. You could do quite a bit of stuff here. If you really want to, you could Hellfire, thinking it might be... Well, I mean, it wouldn't really matter because of the Volphy. So would you rather Mud Shower the Bastion, or would you rather just go for a Sandstorm here and force a Volphy switch in? And if he does, then you would have to Feather Gatling, right? This is a Volphy switch in. Kind of forced. The Volphy comes in for the mix. Sandstorm comes into play. Oh, brings him to 11%. Burst comes through. Still does a hefty like 22%. So pretty good. Aquatic Whirlwind is live. I'm actually curious on how much damage that's going to do to Volphy. It has high special defense, so I don't think it would tank this, since we do know it's not a full HP Volphy. But it could due to the special defense. If it's max special attack, I think it should kill. Maybe. I think it's really close. Really close. Yeah, he does have Kinu as well. He could bring... Oh wait, it has +1/+1 already. Oof. Wait, if it has +1/+1 already, it took a lot of damage from a double gash and a Voloran Feather Gatling. Are you sure that it has... I don't know. It probably lives with +1 regardless. It means Plague is pretty safe here, I think. Bastion switching out, huh? Kinu being brought in, making sure that it lives from Aquatic, I'm assuming. Oh, Plague goes first! Oh, it brings it down to 15.4%. And it is trapped. Oh, it's because he used Water Cannon, okay. Water Cannon 38 down to 6 or 17, sorry. Fire Tornado, is this on Kinu? Oh. Imagine it living that. Yeah, right. Volphy going down though, even though it used the extra Kinu buff, so. Rip Volphy, man. Rip the +2/+2 Volphy. It got the damage onto Yukama though. It still has Aquatic Whirlwind. So now you have to choose, like, who do you want to get hit by the Aquatic Whirlwind? I mean, I guess you could say Gaialis and you could hook kick. You don't want Mix in here. Pretty sure you don't want Mix at all, right? You don't want Mix in here. If you try to 3-power the Yukama's just gonna Aquatic Whirlwind you first. And then Sandstorm kills. Oh no. Sandstorm, dude. It's coming. It's coming. It's happening right now. Alright, so Hellfire does take out the Mix and the Mastodon, so it didn't even have to Sandstorm. It could have used one or the other. So, really, really strong turn for Layla. Now it's Gaialis and Kinu versus the whole squad, man. Gaialis, Volarin, Drakash, Kinu. Yeah, I think it's GG. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Kinu being brought in. Buffing up the good old Drakash. Gaialis. Kinu. +1 buff onto the Gaialis. I'm pretty sure Gaialis came in once and then swapped back out, if I remember. But I'm not positive. So it doesn't have, it has Sandstorm, Mud Shower online, and that's it. It doesn't have Fire Tornado or Hellfire. You could double swap and double swap it in again. I don't know, man. Unless somehow Hook Kick kills here, but then, yeah. Still has the Kinu. What do you do? Double Gash, bring it down to 54. Beta Burst. Alright, so Gaialis and Kinu are faster, which is nice. Sandstorm coming in. Bring it down to 46. Overexertion. So I don't think you should care about your cash right here because you are faster than it. You should definitely double the Kinu slot. Or not double it, but just Crystal Bite and revitalize your Gaialis. You need to make every turn worth it here. Looking pretty close though. I know it doesn't seem close because it's 4 versus 2, but the Gaialis is weak. We know it's a speed Kinu. Crystal Bite coming through onto the Kinu. Kills, one shot right there. It drops the snare onto the War Drum. Stonewall comes in so it can get tankier against the enemy Gaialis. That's really good. Alright, so he can revitalize now. He can definitely revitalize now. The problem is going to be this Volarin, because you want to beta burst it. Alright, so Gaialis. Alright, so what happened was Volarin plumed and left, so it doesn't have Toxic Plume up. Now what it wants to do is it wants to... Oh, man, you have to think about stamina too. So if he double gashes, Kinu lives. Oh, it doesn't live. What? I thought Noxious Bomb only did like 48%. I'm an idiot. That is rough. He couldn't get the heal into Gaialis. Instead, he only got the Stonewall. Alright, now he has Toxic Plume up, and now it's game over. Dang. Dang. I guess if Kinu had Tukma Mask and had HP defense, that was kind of the only way. That was kind of the only way, man. But yeah, Hyperkinetic Stripe coming on through into the Giles. 46 down to 25. So pretty tanky there with the +2. Crystal Bite coming on through into the Giles. Is it Doppelganger? No, it's War Drum, and it was already snared. So Crystal Bite coming through into the Giles. 5%. And it's looking like one more turn is going to call this game. It's going to call this game. Feather Gatlin, and it's gonna be GG. Gonna be GG. Layla taking it home for, yep, 5-2. Series is over. GG's.